So the first thing, we'll go ahead and open a journal entry. So I'll click Create Journal Entry, and then Scout Recommend. Going to open up a blank form, the generic form that FieldX is shipped with. Okay, and then when I'm setting up my template, I would actually start here in the field conditions. And let's say that we're scouting maybe mid-season corn on dry land. So what I would want to do is first go up to Data Fields and select which ones that I want to be recording, to have available to me, and my scouts and anyone else adding data to these forms. So I'll start on the right side to see the ones that are already displayed, and then I'll go ahead and take off any that I don't need. So since I said we're on dry land, I'm going to take out some of the irrigation information. Okay, I'll leave in some of the general environmental comments. And then next thing is to go over here to the left side to view the available data fields and go through and find any others that you would need. So maybe I want to know the tillage type applied, and I want to know a little bit more about the fertilizer type that was applied. Okay, so these are the data fields I have. Next would be to select the units. So if I'm in Canada, I would go in and make sure that these are showing degrees Celsius. Otherwise, in the U.S., degrees Fahrenheit, unless you prefer using Celsius. I'll move on to crop observations and do the same thing. Now, this form is where you really start to get crop specific, of course, because the data fields, there are quite a few specific to the crop you're working with. So, for example, we can go in and select which ones we want here. So now we're going to be worried a little more about the canopy closure, the percent canopy. We want to know less about the root rating, or we're not going to spend time looking at that now that we're mid-season. But we still want to know a little more about, say, the true leaf count, stand count. Then on the left side, there are likely other data fields that we're going to want to watch for. So, for example, if we're going to start to worry about the tassels, we can go ahead and move those over. Okay. And then the other thing is, once you have your set of data fields, you can decide what order they're going to be in. So if you would really prefer that the tassel stage and percent, those are the last things you're going to look at, you want those on the bottom of the form, you can do that. Okay. If you want crop stress up by the growth stage, you can move that up and down as well. So it's really, a personal preference or a preference on how you want that data collected determines how you set up these forms and these data fields. For growth stage, again, you want to get crop specific there. So I will go ahead and pre-select that I'm going to work with corn stages here. Okay, and the stand count, I'll leave that as is. Next, I'll go into crop injury here, and what I can do is go ahead and pre-fill the information here. So I'll go through these drop-down menus ahead of time so that I have the units pre-selected for everybody, not just me, as long as I'm syncing these templates between the rest of the company. And that way I'll also be consistent from week to week, which is important. Okay, so I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. I'll just add a few. Okay. And then the idea is later on when I'm coming back to actually use this template, I'm just going to fill in the blanks here. I'm not going to go through these drop downs. I'm just going to fill in the actual amounts that I'm observing. Okay, go into weeds, just add in 1 here as an example. Okay, so the idea, like I mentioned, I'm leaving the values blank. So I'm not filling in any data pre-filling information. I'm essentially setting up a blank form that I'll go in and fill in next week or the week after when I'm out actually scouting the field. So I'll click on Template. I'm going to save this as a scouting template. I'll call it Corn Scouting